body count, 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 Jean Claude Van Damme, body count, Universal Soldier, body count.
It sneaks into the compound with the Unisols, gets some pictures. Ralf Moeller was a good scene where it looks like he gets shot dead, but he shows back up and shoots the bad guys. It's pretty clever. And then basically, she takes a picture of Ralf Moeller's dead body, supposedly in ice, and he comes back to life, and she's like, "Oh shit!" And then then Ada Ross realizes she's trespassing. She gets in the truck, gets in the car with her friend, and they're trying to get away, and they crash. And it looks like she's a goner. The Unisols are after her. Ada Ross has told them to kill her. But then Van Damme has a flashback to Vietnam, and Lundgren's about to shoot her, and then Van Damme's like, "No!" And then he does the same move that he did, the same punch that he threw in Vietnam. And then he's like, "Run!" I really like that. It was carrying over the same thing. That his only memories that he really has left right now are the ones before he died. So the rest of the film is just Van Damme decides to protect Allie. And it looks at first, he's like, "I must follow my orders, da 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 da." And she basically rips off the communication mic that was on his head. And then he's separated from Ada Ross and the Unisol truck, so now he doesn't really have their influence anymore. So they drive away, and it's like it becomes more of a chase film. It becomes more of Lundgren and other Unisols and Ada Ross are trying to find Van Damme and the reporter. They frame her, for the murderer of her best friend or a co-worker. And then basically they're on the run. Van Damme's trying to get his memory back. You have fun moments of action. The one where Van Damme's running through the hotel walls is great. You have basically really cool, you have a funny sequence, he goes to the restaurant, is eating. He's like, "Oh, it's food, it's food, you eat it." It's like, He's like looking around at other people, this older guy cutting up his food, and Van Damme's following exactly what he's doing. He's like, And then basically he just plates his food, and they're like, "Are you gonna pay for this?" And he's like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about. Pay for? Do you have any money?" I don't think so. And then they get in the brawl, and it's a fun brawl, and well choreographed. The whole moment Van Damme kicks some guy in the face, and then gets another scoop full of mashed potatoes. It was funny. Van Damme having fun. He had fun with this role. He's not, a coked up. He's not a freaking zombie, like in Regeneration. He's not like. That's basically the gist of his emotions in freaking Regeneration is. And then, maybe an occasional, fat guy walks into a bar and then, he just beats the shit out of him or something. It's pretty much about it. I'll get into that later. But anyway, back to the good movie, Universal Soldier. I always love that sequence at the restaurant. It's a lot of fun. And then basically you get a little bit of the slow parts in between him trying to find the doctor, who helped work on his, bring him back to life. He has this whole thing, "I just want to go home." And then he finds then he tries to separate Allie Walker from him and buy a bus ticket for her. Then the bus drives away, and she's, "I didn't take it, I decided to go with you." And there's a bunch of cops behind her. Pretty clever, little moment there. And then basically get to the truck chase with Lundgren. You get a great moment of, kind of this is really disturbing scene where Lundgren goes in to a supermarket and starts basically losing it. you know, around these innocent people. When it gets also basically... Oh yeah, Etta Ross ended up getting killed by Lundgren. Lundgren took the Unisol truck and the rest of the Unisols. And he had a big ass explosion too at the gas station too before that. It was a real explosion, no CGI. It's really solid. This is a great sequence where he's like, God damn it, the whole platoon is dropping like flies. What the hell are you staring at? Do you have any idea what it's like out there? Do you? Well, I'm fighting this thing, man. And it's like kick ass. It's like kick ass or kiss ass. And I'm busting heads. The only way to win this fucking war, and these shitheads, these yellow trading motherfuckers, they're everywhere. And I, Sergeant Andrew Scott of the U.S. Army, I'm gonna teach them all. You know, it's really disturbing, you know. Of course, you have that moment also where he kills the last remaining scientist from the Unisol project in the Unisol truck. The one guy tries to basically, you know, trick him. And then you have the moment, of course, I always love this moment. He has the necklace of ears again. He's like, Andrew Scott, General Scott, I need to speak with you. And he's like, I'm all ears. You know, it's just creepy, you know. And then, you know, then basically, of course, he kills that one guy, the black guy with the memory serum, with the needle through the cheek. It's kind of, you know, an intense moment. But then basically after he loses in the supermarket, you know, he decides he gets in the Unisol truck, chases after Van Damme, and because they end up getting arrested, actually. They end up getting arrested, put it in this prison truck. Then Lundgren shows up, and you have the moment where he's throwing grenades. He's like, do you want to play catch? You know, just having a lot of fun with the role. Of course, the infamous line, you know, are we having fun yet? You know, are we having fun yet? You know, boom. And, you know, basically, it looks like, you know, Allie, you know, the reporter, she's throwing grenades out, and the one grenade actually blows up, and the truck goes, you know, and they, you know, Lundgren just heads into the, you know, crashes into the, he basically purposely trying to basically shove the prison bus off a cliff. Van Damme manages to get the reporter lady, and they manage to get out of it just in time. But then actually, Lundgren oversteps his bounds, and you know, Scott basically drove into it too hard, and he falls off. The bus falls off, and you have another big explosion. Looks like, oh shit, Andrew Scott's a goner. So then basically, you know, Van Damme is going home, and he sees his family. And I thought it was a really good sequence there, seeing his family, looking around, trying to remember things that he couldn't remember. He's like, I don't remember. I'm trying to remember, but I can't remember any of this. And then basically have this slam, bang, drag him out, awesome fight at the end. You know, Lundgren's throwing him, you know, Van Damme around like a rag doll. And it looks like Van Damme, you know, looks like the reporter. You have this moment where the reporter, she's running away. It's totally like a flashback again from Vietnam. Lundgren throws a grenade, and then he's like, run, you know, and then it's like, boom, and then she falls down, and Lundgren's like, you know, and is having fun with it. And then, and damn, he gets up off the ground, it's raining, and there's fire behind him. Just that badass moment where he just walks up, you know, he does that moment where he gets up, the flames are behind him, and you're like, oh shit, it's about to go on, man. So, you know, it's on now, you know. And then he just runs, he does the run in, and then does the dope kick straight to freaking Lundgren's face. Tries to kick him, Lundgren puts him on the ground again, but he gets back up and kicks him again. And then Lundgren's all like, now that's the spirit, soldier. You know, and then you have that great, you know, they get in the farmhouse, and Van Damme's still getting his ass thrown around, and then he manages to get a hold of more of the muscle enhancer. And then Lundgren, you know, Scott's all like, you know, good night, asshole. Say good night, asshole. And then he's injected it in himself already, the muscle enhancer, and he's all like, good night, asshole. You know, just, you know, he's kicking his ass. And then Van Damme does the jump kick, you know, and kicks him straight into the freaking, you know, the wheat thresher or whatever it is. And Lundgren's impaled, like, you know. And Van Damme, there's almost a bit of suspense where Lundgren grabs him, you know, and Van Damme, like, fucking breaks his arm. And then he turns on the Thresher, and he's like, ah! And then he's like, you're discharged, such. Ah! So it's a corny line, but it's a lot of fun. Then Van Damme has a fun moment, you know, at the end. He saved his family. He finds out the reporter, she's still alive. She's like, where's Scott? And he's like, around. So then basically he has a moment with the reporter and they hug and they, you know, the camera zooms in and the movie is over. And then you have that song by, I think it's like Ice-T, you know, body count, body count, body count, body count. Motherfuckers dropping like flies. You know what? But anyway, very solid film. Really does work really well. Really holds up really well. The only nitpicks I really had were some of the pacing. There wasn't really that many moments of action that were like really as good as the final fight. But it's still a very solid film. I mean, really, any of the nitpicks that I have are not enough to really honestly knock it down. Maybe like a half a star. So if I was going to rate Universal Soldier, I'd probably give it 3.5 out of 4 stars. Very solid film. It's not my favorite Van Damme film, though. I mean, it's not. I mean, Time Cop is right up there. Hard Target. Those are all better films than Universal Soldier, in my opinion. Even Kickboxer, even Bloodsport, even Lionheart, even Double Team. It's just a solid film, though. It's just I do feel that there are some moments where there's kind of a bit slow. The drama elements kind of slow down the film a little bit. But then the action kicks in and it's worth it. But, you know, the film's worth it, you know, just for the final fight alone, which is just epic. And 10 times better than the supposedly better final Lundgren Van Damme fight in fucking Regeneration. Which a lot of people say is better because it uses more technique. Fuck technique. The last fight is 10 times more exciting, a lot more entertaining. I mean, good night, asshole. You know, it's just all just crowd pleasing. So anyway, you can definitely see why this film made a lot of money. And I don't know what to say except thanks for watching my review of Universal Soldier, and I will check you later. Good night, assholes.